Originally it was a coal mining town, then power stations joined into the economy.
Through this plant there's been generations of people, and it was one of the first large power plants in New South Wales supplying power to Sydney, but also generating jobs in the Lithgow, Bathurst, Portland, Wallerawang area.
I started out as an electrical apprentice. I started in 1980.
I got a job at 18. I've been with Energy Australia for 37 years.
Started in 2008. I was straight out of uni.
Power stations have changed incredibly in that time.
I was convinced that I was going to be building robots for movies. That was going to be my job. And then I got this opportunity.
Worked my way up to a tradesman, became a foreman on site, became an inspector, and I actually worked at Mount Piper, commissioning Mount Piper. At the moment I'm the project lead on the DDR project.
The DDR project is all about decommissioning, demolition and rehabilitation of a 1,000 megawatt power station. This plant was built in 1957, consists of two 500 megawatt generators, 12 stories in size. It supplied roughly 10 to 15% of New South Wales power.
I mean, a lot of people have been here since their stations were built, that sort of thing, so there's a ridiculous amount of knowledge.
The plant was closed because the power industry had changed. It was the oldest plant in New South Wales, and the efficiency was behind the rest of the plants and demand. We've got to get the balance between baseload and renewables. Germany's just gone through it, Japan's going through it, England, and it's a balance, it's not one or the other.
This is a big project. It's going to take big thinking and teamwork to pull it apart.
The funny thing about it is nobody else has done what we're doing here before. We're probably the first that have done it to this scale. Other power stations that have closed down, they've sold the high-end equipment and everything's been left for demolition.
First of all, we do a risk assessment. We plan out all of the steps involved in taking apart a power station.
We're going through a phase of taking the equipment out of the plant, and then we will demolish the plant. And then we'll rehabilitate the land to industrial use. That includes the plant the units were on, the ash dam and the ash repository, so the whole plant will be rehabilitated.
We go about this project by involving a team of engineers and planners who first look at managing the risk associated with each part that we're deconstructing. It will involve work over a 2.5–3 year basis. It's 181 hectares. We're lifting very large weights. Just recently had a transformer leave site that was 140 metres long.
Safety is our highest priority. If we can't do a job safely, we don't do it. Whether it's removal of a pump or a larger component, we look at how we're going to do it, how to do it safely, what we're going to leave behind, and control it as best we can.
We've used consulting engineers, local and government experts to keep inside our licence conditions. We also within EA have the safety group, and we also have the environmental group. They've been instrumental in vetting our work program as we go forward. Currently, we've just demolished the number 7 cooling towers, about 700 tonnes of timber and 12 cooling fans, 5 metres wide. It involved a 65-tonne excavator, which in a matter of 10 days reduced the cooling tower to rubble.
When they build a cooling tower, it takes months and months. When they demolish it, it just falls down. All the materials that made up the cooling tower are being sorted, and all those will be recycled.
Mount Piper has a good long life ahead of it to be part of New South Wales baseload for a good long time.
Mount Piper is the newest power station in New South Wales. It's also efficient in terms of the amount of coal to energy burnt, and we're looking at waste technology after it's been sorted and turning that into steam to generate electricity. So we're actually recycling waste that would have gone to landfill and produce electricity and displace coal for an amount of the power that we generate out of Mount Piper.
We're trying to run a very efficient business, trying to be environmentally sensitive, trying to be aware of the community issues, and trying to get power out to our customers.
Energy Australia has many commitments to environmental regulations and requirements of local councils, state and federal government. We're working hand in glove with the various environmental groups. We consider that it's our top priority to leave this place better than we found it.
Some of the great things about the site is the Wallerawang Dam, which is used for sailing, rowing, etc., which is part of the site. So that's actually given to the community to use. There'll be a lot of bushlands, grasslands and areas for heritage. You're looking now at the original stack from the original power station, which is heritage listed.
We meet quarterly with a community reference group. They represent the different towns and villages that are immediately around our power station. Very keen to see the power station being part of the community and part of the economy, but they also want to see an environmentally aware business in their local community. So it's important that we kept that repurposing ideal alive.
This area is quite good. It's got a rail contact, it's got major highways, it's got a Wallerawang and Portland, Bathurst and Lithgow. It is attractive to different industries. So we're looking at the expressions of interest for what is viable to use this plant.
I'm sad to see it go because a lot of people worked here and I worked here over the years, but times move on and you have to move on with it. If we can repurpose this for another industry and get more employment in the town, I think that'd be an excellent result.
It's got a lot of mixed emotions there.
It's a bittersweet time for our workforce because they've spent a lot of time, a lot of our guys here have spent their lifetime keeping the place going.
We've got new projects coming up with solar projects, with pumped hydro storage projects that are all going to pretty much change the way that we think about how we do our business.
We have to be clever. We have to be upfront about what we're doing and we need to be up for the challenge.